to you. God wants to use you. God wants you to live an exciting life. A life full of His blessings. A life full of His works. He wants you to live a life where you are fulfilled, you are satisfied. When you look back at your life, you can point at how God has moved, how God has helped you overcome, how God has used you to touch lives and make a difference in people's lives. But also, it's possible to live a life that is boring, a life that is lifeless, a life where you just live to wait to die. But it doesn't have to be that way. Let me read you 2 verses from 2 Kings. There's a famine in Samaria, and God has promised there will be an overnight turnaround. And then we are told of these lepers. I love these lepers because they have something that I think we need to have in order to live the life that God wants us to live. 2 Kings chapter 7. I'll read verse 3 and verse 4. Now 4 men with a skin disease were at the entrance to the city gate. They said to each other, "Why just sit here until we die? If we say, 'Let's go into the city,' we will die there because the famine is in the city. But if we sit here, we will also die. So now, come on, let's surrender to the Arameans' camp. If they let us live, we will live. And if they kill us, we will die." Wow, but what a decision. Now, the options they had before them was if they just sit, they die. If they go into the city, they die. They go to the enemy's camp, there was a high possibility that they die. They will actually die faster if they go to the enemy's camp. But there was also a possibility of breakthrough if they go to the enemy's camp. Now, I want you to realize that God uses and blesses the daring. You must be able to stand up in faith and take those steps of faith. Because if you just sit there, you would sit there comfortably, you will die. Time will come, that time will pass, and there will come a time that you die. And you look back on your life and realize, I could have achieved this thing. I could have touched these lives. I could have made a difference, but I chose to sit, just be there waiting to die. But you don't have to live that way. You must rise up today and be daring like those lepers. You see, as long as you just sit there, nothing is going to happen. As long as you sit there doing nothing, nothing will happen. Others will rise up and do things, and you will see, wow, I could have done that. I could have been the vessel God used. But today I want to challenge you and charge you today. Rise up. Be daring. Be like those lepers who say, hey, let's take that step. He says, there's a risk to it. There is a possibility this may go wrong. But hey, there is also a high possibility that there will be breakthrough. Take that step. Instead of sitting back, being resigned, you rise up because the hand of the Lord is upon you. Rise up today. Rise up because God is saying, get up. Do something. Take that step of faith. As He nudges your heart and leads you, you take that step. And I can assure you that breakthrough will come your way. Blessing will come your way. And lives will be touched. People will be blessed. A difference will be made because you were daring. You chose not to just sit there until you died. You chose to get up, to stand up, to be counted, to be daring, to be the man, to be the woman.